Our country is going down, mainly because of this big secret that hardly anyone is talking about. Most men in our country are watching this thing on a daily basis, when they're alone behind closed doors. Women, and sadly, even children are watching it. And even people who go to church. Most people in society are watching this thing. People you would never think. What is this big secret that's destroying our country, that hardly anyone talks about? It's pornography. It's the real reason our country is going down. Pornography sites rank as some of the most visited sites on the internet, which means millions of people are watching porn on a daily basis. It's society's dirty secret. Our country is so saturated with pornography that it's seeping out onto regular TV and the internet. Images and videos of half-naked women almost always pop up while doing basic internet searches or scrolling social media. It's also showing up on regular TV shows and commercials. It seems you just can't avoid it. You cannot watch regular things anymore without coming across it, in some form or another. And even though that form may be mild for now, the more society becomes saturated and desensitized with porn, the worse it will get. Men are watching so much porn, that women have to dress like prostitutes just to get their attention. Whether they realize it or not, women are literally competing with pornography to get men's attention. Porn is one reason we have so much crime and mental illness these days. It's also why we have open borders, and mass shootings. God created men to be the leaders of society, responsible for protecting and defending the country they live in. It's not the women's responsibility or the children's, it's the men's. So, I will be focusing on them. Men who watch porn become spiritually weak, and lack the discernment needed to protect and defend their country against the spiritual forces of evil. Porn blinds men to the fact that the real fight is on a spiritual level, not the physical. They don't understand this, and if they once did, they will begin to forget it. And they don't understand that having a good country starts with obeying God. Without that, you will have no country. Those whose minds have been corrupted by pornography do not understand these things the way they should. Porn makes men morally corrupt and lazy, causing them to not care about all the evil going on. When that happens, evil prevails, which is what we see happening. And touching on the open border. A nation of spiritually strong men would never allow their country to be invaded like we see now. The fact that our country is being invaded so easily shows how spiritually weak the men are. There's no fixing this country until we fix the porn problem. It doesn't matter how patriotic we become, or how many guns we buy, or how many political wins we get, or how awake we become. None of these things matter if we do not get to the root of the problem. This country will only continue on its downward spiral. A country becomes weak without strong families. God created men to be the head of the household, responsible for preserving the family. They can't do this if they're watching porn. Over time, they'll become dissatisfied with their wives, and get divorced. Then the kids suffer and often become problematic to society. And the country becomes weak. On a deeper level, porn causes demon possession. Watching it opens a spiritual doorway, through the television or computer, for demons to enter a person, and possess them. If you watch it, eventually you will get possessed. Or you may already be possessed now with a minor demon, and not know it. Not all demons make you act like characters in Hollywood movies. Some demons are subtle, and go undetected. But just know this, the internet is getting stronger, and more powerful, and so are the demons coming through it. Those getting possessed from it nowadays, are worse off than those in the past. Porn causes mental illness, and mental illness is a demon. Not always, but in many cases. Demons can cause depression, madness, insanity, make people violent, and even suicidal. Porn is one of the root causes of mass shootings. That's because the shooter may have picked up a demon from watching porn. That demon will cause a person to kill people. The news will never tell you this. If they're not blaming it on the gun, then they will tell you the mass shooter was on psychotropic medication. But the question is, why were they on that medication to begin with? Possibly because they were mentally tormented by a demon, from watching porn, or doing some other sinful act, and they sought help through medication. But it didn't help, and the person ends up shooting people. This doesn't mean all demon-possessed people will become mass shooters. What it does mean is mass shooters are most definitely demon-possessed. And when they're done killing people, the demon will usually cause them to kill themselves. Then that demon will jump into another person and make them do the same things. This is why mass shootings usually happen in twos, or even threes. Society is ashamed to talk about its porn addiction, which makes the problem go unresolved. And things get worse. A lot of churches don't talk about it because those in the congregation are watching it. However, there are still a remnant of churches who preach against it. Porn is like a whorish woman who weakens men and kills them, then they go to hell. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Proverbs 7 verses 26 to 27. Samson was a strong man who was taken down by a woman, just as America, which was once a strong nation, is being taken down by pornography. This is the real reason our country is going down. And it's the big secret that hardly anyone is talking about.